Yeah, g'day Gold Coast Titans fans, and welcome back to the Titans Frontline podcasted. We are live all over social media, so please do go ahead and get involved in those comments, as Cal already has. Big shout out to Cal. He must have been waiting for this. And Russ, I'm feeling good, and I bet you're feeling good as well, mate, because we have a win on the board, and we needed it, didn't we, man?
About time, man, and it was even better being there. I went to the game on Friday night at Seabus. The atmosphere was good. There was 13,000 people there, and it was just a great night.
Yeah, I did hear some reports of Des Hasler doing a bit of scouting pre-game. Apparently, there was like a really fast winger that did the challenge before the game. Did you hear anything about that at all?
Yeah, mate. There was some guy, he bolted downhill. I think he was doing the Chem Pro where they got to race the chemist. Mate, they said he was quicker than Loffy. He was that quick. Yeah. Lightning.
I mean, yeah, he wouldn't happen to be a member of this podcast wearing a Clarkey's Rugby League column hat right now, would he?
Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
What would the odds be? What would the odds be of that? All righty, mate. Let's jump straight into grading our performance. If you are here with us on Facebook and YouTube, we can see those comments. So rolling through, let us know what you graded our performance. I'll go to you first, Ross. What are you going to give us for that performance?
Mate, I'm giving us B+, maybe even an A-. A B+. I reckon that's the best performance we've had this year, easily. I think you'd agree with that. It was a 70-minute performance. The first 10 minutes we were rusty, but it was definitely our best performance this year. Every Titans fan was going, you know what? We looked really good. Our defense was good. The second half, we didn't leak a try, and we defended on our own line for 5 sets straight. And that is exactly what we wanted as a Titans fan and what we needed. And it was good because normally we're leaking a lot of points, and we held them out really well.
Love that, man. I think for me, it really depends when you grade this game. If you're going to grade it just overall, it's a B+. I agree with you. But if you're going to grade it from like where we've been the past month and how sharp of an improvement this was, then it has to be an A. Genuinely, we looked like a completely different side to the past month. I had no idea where this came from. I didn't see it coming. Without our origin players there, I thought we were even less of a chance. So to say I'm pleasantly surprised.
They were full strength.
They were even with
pretty
DCE,
close to it.
Yeah,
the only person they were missing was Lehigh Hopewadi. It's the only person they were missing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. People watched this show last week, and I was here, and I literally said, I can't see a method of victory for us. I expected us
8% to win. Like, all the tipping was 8%.
Yep, mate. It's you were a brave person if you were tipping us coming into that. So I've got an A for us. You've got a B+. I love both of those. Let's we'll get into the game specifically in 1 second. Just quickly for the Titans news, guys, we actually did break the Australian record for the most people wearing a bandana in a single place on Friday night. That was our first time on primetime television, the Friday 8 p.m. slot, owned by the Broncos mostly. That was our first time in it since 2021. So it was just great to see us get that primetime spot and do something awesome with it. It was an initiative to raise awareness for Canteen Australia, and they do a lot of work for people that are impacted by cancer, specifically young people around the ages of 12 to 25. So really great job by the club, Russ. We're back on primetime telly, and we didn't waste that spot. We made the most of it.
We looked great, mate. We looked great. Give us that time every week, I reckon.
Yeah, well, mate, it made me even more proud to be a Titans fan. I can tell you that.
For sure.
Absolutely. Alrighty, game review time. We defeat the Manly Sea Eagles, a well-needed win. I'll go and give you my first observation, Russ. You were at the ground. I was at home, so we probably saw this one slightly different. AJ Brimson's kick awareness. Every time DCE tried to put the boot on the ground and getting a nice kick to switch momentum, AJ was just on it. He knew exactly where Cherry Evans was going to kick it, and he was there. And he started all of our sets for us with a brilliant return as well. So I thought it was so classy by AJ. And I've got to take here, I think if you want to know the most complete fullback at our club, it's still AJ. I think Keanu's stronger in a lot of areas. I think Jaden Campbell's stronger with ball playing and kicking. Yeah. And I think Jalen de Groot's stronger for like sheer acceleration and pace. But if you want a complete fullback that can do it all, I've still got AJ Brimson. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I still think long-term they will go with Kinney as our fullback because we've just re-signed him. But the other night, he was electric. The amount of times he ran for like 280 meters or something, like something stupid. And there was a couple of times where he just broke the line straight off from a kick return. He made DC's kicking game look terrible because, what you said, he was reading it so well. And he was giving us good field position. I actually want to do a massive shout out to all the backs, all our outside backs. They all nearly ran for 100 meters. And that's what we've been missing. We've been saying that our backs haven't been doing the work out of our own end, and all of them ran for like 100 meters. I think Loffy was the 97 meters. Every other one was well over 100. And that's huge.
Yep. I actually have a theory in the NRL that when a star player is unavailable, suspension, injury, in this case, our star players were in Origin, everyone else from the club steps up because they kind of want to show like, hey, this isn't a one-man band. And our outside backs without Tino there and Mo definitely took on the extra burden. And they're like, yeah, we're going to come in and get busy. So I appreciated that as well. Nothing that I took away from this game was it was the first sign this year of a defensive system. And what I mean by that was oftentimes in our games, you'll see like Brian Kelly might go for, he might go out and the winger comes in, or opposite ways. We're not connected on the edges. We leak tries quite easy. But for the first time this year, it actually looked like a system. What we did was we kind of held and we just worked Manly to the sideline. No one shot up out of the line. We were happy just to watch Turbo drift, watch Cherry. Didn't matter which star player was in front of us. Watch them go to the sideline and run out of room. Yep. And as long as our inside men were working, which they all were, it's the sideline or you're getting tackled near the sideline.
Yeah, our sliding defense was good, man. We like Turbo looked terrible. Like we contained him so well, and it's because he didn't have the room to move, really. And that was our sliding defense, especially in the second half. Big raps in the second half. We defended really well.
And that's what I loved about it. Like not only holding Manly to 0 in the second half, but just the fact that so many weeks, like we'll start sliding early in games and we'll look okay defensively. And then in the second half, we'll feel pressure and just start rushing out of the line and doing silly things.
Yep.
This week, it was like, no, we have a game plan in defense and we're going to stick to it. I mean, on that note, I also loved our game plan in attack. Now we completed with 90% here. And I really like that because I feel like most weeks when we verse those top sides, we probably do have to play a bit of a money style or money ball style rather, where we look for offloads, tackle breaks, shifting early in our own half. But we kind of said this week, you know what? We're not going to play that way. We're going to play smart and safe footy. And we stuck to it for 80 minutes. Even when they scored first, we stuck to it. That's what I love for us. I hate the games when we kind of start the money ball style and we're looking to score and we're looking to offload. And then halfway through, we start to get timid or we get a lead and we shy away from that. If we just pick one or the other and go with it for 80 minutes, we look awesome. And I think that was the first time this year where really we nailed that and executed it.
Yep, we look great.
You know, looked at it through the stats. There was nothing else really heavily weighted towards our favor. Like you'd think with a dominant win like this, we'd have way more meters or way more tackle breaks. Not really the case. So for me, it kind of ticked off just a mindset shift. And
we would have more breaks, but surely
we'd have more line breaks, 7-3, I believe that was. But outside of the line breaks one, like it was a bit closer than you'd expect for the scoreline, given we won by 20. But you know what to tie it back to? Rugby league's a simple game. If you run harder and you tackle harder than the other team, you're probably going to win 99% of the time. So I actually think it was just a mindset shift for our players, missing Tino and Mo, where they wanted to step up and they wanted to, you know, give their absolute best. And I just love to see that, man.
Yeah, and you just said like we completed at 90%, didn't you say?
90%, absolutely.
So like we haven't completed like that. We always talk about the dumb errors Titans do. I mean, if we're completing at 90%, majority, if you can defend and complete at 90%, you will win games.
Simple as that. It is a simple game.
It's simple.
And the final takeaway I had from this game, actually, mate, was our improved rotation on our bench. I think it was kind of forced because we didn't have Tino or Mo, where Des is like, okay, they've been on for 10 minutes. I need to get them back out. Because we had Regan and Jimmy as our two top props, but they're not really noted 80-minute players. Des was kind of forced to use the interchange more. And so I think Jacob Arlett-Winky was our only player with under 10 minutes.
He only played 5 minutes.
And what were our other three bench players?
So Isaac played 26 minutes. Josh Paxton played 17, and Tukey Simpkins played 22. So
we've had games this year, man. We've had game. Sorry, mate.
He did 63 minutes, and Jolliffe did 65. That's a lot for.
Yeah, but we've had games.
They did the Tino Mo role, really. Those two.
Yeah, they did. They did, but not to the same extent, I will say, because we've actually had games this year where our bench has like all been used under 10 minutes, basically, besides Jimmy. So it's great to see that bench rotation from Des, and a really, really important and great win for our fans. I love that one, mate. Let's go into our 3-2-1s. You were at the ground, so break it down for us. Who was going to get your 3-2-1s this week?
My 3 is going to AJ Brimson. We've already spoken about him. he made the game lightning. He was electric, ran for 270 meters. Like he was everywhere. He definitely gets the 3. 2, I'm giving a Jaden Campbell. Scored a try, set up a try. Like beast. Like kicking game was good, controlled the game well. And then the 1 point I was torn. I was going to give it to Foreign because he was playing like he was 25, mate. Like in the first half, especially, he was killing them. But I'm actually giving it to Chris Randall. I actually think Chris Randall had a really strong game. Scored a try that really sealed the game at the end. Ran for about 140 meters, played the 80 minutes, did about 35 tackles. I thought he was really solid performance.
Well, my 3-2-1s are actually the exact same as yours. Yeah, 3 Brimo, 2 Jaden, 1 Randall. I do think that's the order that makes the most sense for me, but like so many players played out of their skin that,
it was hard.
Cal has it 3 AJ, 2 Foz, 1 JC, Far North Queensland Outdoor Adventures. He gave a point there to Foz. So there's definitely room for debate in a positive way too, where everyone played good.
You could have given 1 point to a couple of people. Like
you could
quite a few players. Like Loffy scored 2 great tries. I thought like Brian Kelly even like I know he missed a couple of tackles and Garrick got it over at the start, got it over the top of him twice, scored 2 tries, but then he was turning Garrick inside out after that. So like there was heaps of positives.
Mate, the good thing about the 3-2-1 segment this week is we've had segments this year where we genuinely could we struggled to name 3 good ones.
I don't know how to name it. Yeah.
Whereas, even David now from Facebook says Alofiana Campera has to be close. And I don't disagree with you, David. Yeah. We had so many great performers that's just our 3-2-1s, but this was a special week where, you could mix it up for sure. And you wouldn't be wrong because we had a lot of great performances. Alrighty, mate. Affiliates recap time. So Ipswich Jets were on the bye this week, guys, so they didn't play. Tweed, they went down at home, 12 points to 26 to the Mackay Cutters. Jacob Arlick-Winke backed up from the NRL and scored in that game. And Sean Mullaney, he dropped back due to Sam Verrills returning from his broken hand a week earlier. And he made 44 tackles, which was the most of any player in that game. So great work to both of them there. Our Ipswich Jets, they take the points from the bye and they go back into the top 4. Unfortunately, Tweed do drop to 12th. They're now 4 competition points outside of the top 8. Next week, both of our affiliates are staying local. Jets, they've got the Burleigh Bears at UAA Park on the Gold Coast. And Tweed have the Dolphins up in Redcliffe. So hopefully with both teams staying local, we see some Titans get back there and represent our affiliates and start pushing them up the ladder, mate.
Yep, nice.
Alrighty. Any changes to the team? I think the obvious question for this segment is Origin boys. Do you have Tino and Mo backing up at this stage?
We play Sunday Arvo, so yeah, I'd probably say we will. Like they've got the most time out of any game to back up. So I think they will back up. I'm guessing they will see how Tino's sternum is because he does have a banged up sternum at the moment, apparently. But I think Des will want them to back up straight up.
I agree with you. I think they'll be backing up. The only concern is Tino's sternum, which you touched on, but he seems like the sort of player where he'll play even if he's compromised.
Yeah,
he'll play through it. I actually think they really need to. If those two return, we are undoubtedly favourites to win here. This is a winnable game. And don't forget, guys, Mitchell Moses is injured and Dylan Brown suspended. So that leaves their spine with 2 rookies, being Isaiah Ayongi and Riley Smith. Even the 6 will be Joash Papali, who's a rookie as well. So that leaves Dean Hawkins as their only noted spine member. If Mo and Tino back up, you got to tip us, right? Even if you're a neutral fan.
Yeah, that's very inexperienced. Isn't it?
Yeah, they would tip us for sure. You know what? I'm going to suggest some other changes here. Call me crazy if you want after this, Russ. I'm going to say Tino and Mo should return via the interchange, and we should reward that winning form from Jimmy.
I'm for that, especially after Origin. I'm for Jimmy. Just banged out 65 minutes, had a solid game. Start those, bring Tino on after 20 minutes, 100%. And I don't know what they'll do with the bench. I think Khalees Haas, he was solid. So he did 65 minutes. I feel like he should hold a bench spot easy. And I don't even know what they'll do on the bench. If they're only using Jacob Alec-Winke for 5 minutes, I don't know why. I think he's going to drop off.
Yeah, he has to, unfortunately, especially because he did back up.
And one of the debut guys will drop off.
Yeah, I think that's unfair though, because
I thought they both performed pretty well when they were on there, especially Tukey Simpkins. He looked really busy when he came on.
If I could name the team this week, I would reward Jimmy and RCG for that performance, especially RCG against his former club. I would bring Tino and Mo just straight back onto the interchange, takes them out of the early physicality, backing up from Origin. What it also does, Russ, it forces us to share the minutes and keep a solid rotation again. The last thing I want to see is Tino and Mo start, and we go back to using only Jimmy and RCG from the bench, and we carry 2 players just for the sake of it. I don't want to see that. For what it's worth, I think those other 2 players should be Tukey and Josh Patson. I think they were solid enough to keep their spot. So for me, the change this week is Tino replaces his brother Isaac, and Jacob Arlagwinki falls out for Moeki Fotuaika. I think that would be that'd be awesome. We've got a few questions rolling through here. There was one I wanted to get your thoughts on because when we spoke about it, you were unavailable that episode. Far North Queensland Outdoor Adventures, I believe that's Corey Gregory. He says Bo Firma got robbed of a Maroons jersey. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree?
I agree, because Bo Firma only played 17 or 15 minutes in game 1, and it was when the game was over. So what's he going to do? Like, he didn't do anything wrong to lose his spot. I think he's been solid. Like, he played a solid game. Like, he could have been in the question for a 1 point with our 3-2-1 as well. Like, he did 150 meters, played 80 minutes. Like, he's been solid. He hasn't played a bad game this year. I actually do feel like he got hard done by.
Yeah, I agree, man, because here's the thing for Bo. They used Ruben Cotter, and this is hard for me because I'm a Queensland fan. So, like, I'm talking bad against my other team.
Yeah.
I didn't love Ruben Cotter on the edge. He's a middle through and through. He can go there in the
middle
pinch
at his own team.
But the Maroons' issues right now is they're struggling to score points. Defensively, holding the Blues to 18 with the amount of strike power they've got is actually not that bad.
Yeah.
But they just didn't threaten with points. Why was Ruben Cotter played on an edge and Bo in the middle? Like, you had 2 players that are at the top of each of those, and you swapped them, Billy, which I don't get. And then what baffles me as well is Bo being replaced by Kurt Capewell, who was averaging over 6 missed tackles per game, more than 20
a whole year out of every player.
Yeah. What I read in the newspapers today was apparently Darren Lockyer and Gene Miles, who were the selectors with Billy, they were keen on keeping Bo. And there was even a suggestion that he should start. But Billy Slater didn't passionately defend Bo. He was kind of happy if he fell out. He felt that bringing in Kurt Capewell would help raise the standards because he's an older veteran who could kind of chirp on the younger guys and be like, "Boy, that's not good enough. Train harder and stuff." So whether there's truth to that or not, look, either way, if you want to go off form, if you want to go off who's going to be in the jersey longer, if you want to go off who deserves it more, I reckon it is Bo. It seems 100%. Like you agree. It seems like most Titans fans agree. Yeah. But as a Maroons fan, I still hope Kurt Capewell
has a good game.
Yeah, hopefully he has a strong game. All righty, mate. Let's park all that in the past and look forward to the future. We'll both be at this game together. We are versing the Eels this Sunday at 6:15 p.m. at CommBank Stadium. And a bit of a fun fact for our viewers now, we've versed the Eels 26 times since we come into the competition. We're exactly 13-13. So the winner here will go ahead on the all-time wins leaderboard. How confident are you that that's going to be us in this one, Russ?
So after the last, if you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would have said not at all. But after what we've just done, I'm feeling a lot more confident this week. And Eels are a team that are down the bottom of the ladder with us. I would say 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling really confident. Like, I don't want to go.
You don't want to go overconfident. We don't want to do it like we start of the year, remember? Like,
yes. I'll say 7 out of 10 as well. Like, I'll say 7.5. Like, there's a 3/4 chance here, just, based on the stats right now, that we should be winning, in my opinion. Now, we played them last year without Mitchell Moses also, and we got the job done 24-16 in that game. And I just feel watching this Eels side to start the season in comparison to when Mitchell Moses returned, there is no comparison. They are a completely different side with Mitchell Moses. Now, you take him out, we know that. But now we're going to see them without Brown as well. And we're going to see a spine that's made up of a reserve grade halfback in Dean Hawkins, most likely, and 3 rookies. I just don't see how they can win, to be honest, with that. That being said, though, I didn't see how Manly could win last round. Rugby league's a strange sport like that. Their attack was lacking, I thought, Manly, and that's what allowed our defense to really step up and be more than sufficient. And I do expect the Eels to be similar. Like, with a brand new spine that have never played together, 3 out of 4 of them being rookies, I can't see how they come out the gates and shock us with early points. If we are to get ahead and play smart, I can't see how they manufacture a comeback. So there's a lot of things in our favor. But most importantly for this game, Russ, the loser goes to dead last on the ladder because we're on equal points. We both have 4
Battle
wins
for the
this year.
spoon, really.
It's an early spoon bowl. But if we get the win here, we can almost, not almost certainly, but we can go a long way to avoiding that sort of prospect. Tell you, I think it's going to have a ripper. Regan Campbell-Gillard, Eels player of the year. Yep, Eels player of the year last year. New coach comes in, says, hey, you're unwanted. And they bring in someone like Jack Williams to replace him, who is in good form. But I think that'll be personal for Reggie. And I think this will be the best showing we've seen from him all year. I reckon he'll be up around the 150-plus meter mark and 30-plus tackles comfortably. He'll have a big one in my view.
I hope so.
Here's my key to victory here, Russ. And if I truly feel if we execute this, we win. We just need to be decisive in how we're going to play. If we want to play that offload style where we have multiple fullbacks in the team, kind of like the Melbourne Storm with Munster, Hughes, Pappenhausen, we want to play that style, shift it early, look for offloads. That's fine, but commit to it and know there's going to be some errors here and there. Alternatively, if we're going to go for a high completion like we did against Manly, remain patient. Even if they score first like Manly did, back the game plan. Please don't switch it halfway through. That's the only way we lose for me, Russ, if we switch the game plan halfway through. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and I reckon we've got to do exactly what we did with Manly. Just hold the ball, high completion rate. Like it worked last week. And we're versing an opposition that I would say aren't as good on paper as Manly.
Yep.
So why not just do the same game plan? Keep it simple. Our forwards will roll. They'll get the job done, and our backs just run out of our own end, and we will win. I feel like the rookies will make mistakes. You're saying like the pressure, and I just feel like if we just do the basics right, we'll win.
I'm happy if we play it simple. Like if we're versing the Melbourne Storm and we come out and play with simple,
you have to throw it around a bit. I get it.
We do, but we're better than the Eels. Like, well, not better, but we're on par with the Eels. They're a beatable side for us right now. So as long as we stick to that patient game plan and we don't fatigue ourselves out with a lot of defense, which then leads to more errors in attack, we just got to stick to the disciplined game plan again, like we did Manly. And I think we should be winning here, mate. So my final prediction, Titans 13+. I know we joke about it a lot, but I actually do believe we'll have too much for the Eels. And I do believe that Des will, at this stage of the season, probably not going to play finals, but we want to avoid that wooden spoon. And I think Des will really drill into them this week. Consistency, turning up for a second week, and drilling into the same game plan that works so well against Manly. So for all those reasons, I'm going to say Titans 13+, mate. Are you with me, or do you think a tighter victory?
I say Titans 13+ every week on my Instagram, and I called it last week against Manly. I wish I put money on it. I'm telling you that much.
I was going to say, can you claim it when you put it every single week, though?
Yeah, why not? We'll claim it.
Okay. Yeah, that's like putting a bet on every horse in the Melbourne Cup and then showing the winning ticket and going, I picked it. No, mate, seriously, though, what is your final prediction? You going to go 13+? Do you feel we can get it done?
I reckon we can do 13+. Yeah, I reckon we can do it. Like, if we play how we did last week, we'll get 13+. I reckon we'll win maybe like 30-10 or something.
Yeah, I like it, mate. I like it a lot. Alrighty, guys, that will go ahead and close the Titans Frontline live show for the week. Plenty of people in the house today, plenty of comments rolling through. So thank you so much to everyone that's viewing here live. And if you are listening later as a podcast, we appreciate you all the same. And hopefully you enjoyed the episode. We'll be back next Monday at 5:30 p.m. if you do want to join us for the live show. And we're back to our original time. So have a great week ahead, and hopefully we can pull off a consecutive win this week, guys. Thanks for your time again, and go the Titans, Russ.
Go the Titans.